There we go. And we're recording. Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for coming today. I appreciate that you've taken time out of your busy day for this. I also appreciate that you're interested in making the move to Avenue. Just to start off by saying, Avenue is a new site, and it's a site that combines Learn IT to Teach and EduLINC. There's also a link to Tutela there. So it's sort of like a one-stop shop where you can access your training resources and also your student courseware all on one site with one login. So today we're going to take a look at a few different things. And to get started, I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
Now, hopefully you can see the PowerPoint that's there. I believe that's what's on the screen. If someone could give me a thumbs up indicator or something in the chat. Where's the chat? I've lost my chat. Here we go. Chat. I see the thumbs up. Thank you very much. Excellent. So I'm going to ask today, as we take the EduLINC to Avenue, a guided tour. This is myself, Paul Carter. I'm going to ask that you save your questions for the end. And if you can, during the session, if you could put your questions into the chat, that way we can have them at the end to come back to once we're finished. I'm going to do some demonstrations. And in those demonstrations, I will be showing you different things. There were quite a few questions. The questions will be answered at the end of the session. But for now, I will guide you through the tour. The session will cover the basics, as you can see here, and I'm going to demonstrate how to first get an Avenue account, and then how to migrate your courses that are already on EduLINC to Avenue. If you don't already have a course on EduLINC, but you are in the training, you can ask your mentor for a new course on Avenue when you reach stage 2. Then I'm going to show you how to enroll students into your course on Avenue and how to access the training courses and all of the different support documents that are out there. We're going to do a spot here, a part that's called Spot the Differences on the new site. By and large, Avenue is very similar to EduLINC. It is a newer version of Moodle, so there are some changes to the LMS itself. And then, as I said, it does combine the two sites, Learn IT to Teach and EduLINC, into one. So you'll only need to access the one site to get at your training courses and your courseware with your students. Besides that, there's a few sort of mechanical differences that come with the new version of Moodle. But by and large, the activities and resources on Avenue are the same as they were on EduLINC. It's just a new and improved version. After we spot the differences, we're going to look at how to access and use the ePortfolio. The ePortfolio, I think, is one of the greatest additions on the Avenue site. On EduLINC, you may have set up folders to act as an ePortfolio solution at a time when we didn't have a built-in one. You'll find that on Avenue, it's much more comprehensive and much more useful for teachers and students alike in terms of being able to find things and being able to download and keep things, the artifacts from the ePortfolio or the binder, as you will see later. The session will be followed by a Q&A, so as I said, please put your questions in the chat if you have them, and I will do my best to address them at the end. Help and support. I always like to show this at the beginning of a session so that people can see what's out there. LearnIT2Teach.ca is an excellent website that has our program information, our resources, the newsletter, the live help widget where you can get assistance from a mentor in real time. There are also support documents there and links to Twitter and YouTube. We'll be looking at LearnIT2Teach.ca in a few moments. It's the public portal, so important to note that. LearnIT2Teach.ca is a public website that you don't need a password for. Avenue.ca is the other site, which is, as I said, has combined EduLINC and Learn IT to Teach into one site, and it does include the teacher training stages, the Stage 2-3 exemplar course, which includes examples of some of the new PBLA resources. Teacher Dashboard is a new addition that we did not have on EduLINC that I think you'll find very useful. The ePortfolio or the binder, the learner courseware is also there, the courseware you would use with your learners. and the Avenue teacher-only forum, very similar to the EduLINC teacher-only forum, where you probably saw the announcement about this session. We have the same thing on Avenue, and it's Avenue-based. A lot of great resources are shared there. The outline for today, the introduction is happening right now. After that, we'll look at getting an Avenue account, migrating courses, spot the differences, access the training courses and support, enrolling students, and access and use the ePortfolio. So to get started, getting an Avenue account, it doesn't take much. If you're already in the training, you can just go to the form, fill it out, and get your account. But if you're not registered for Learn IT to Teach training yet, you can go to learnit2teach.ca and ask the live help operator to assist you there. If no one's there, you can also leave a message and we'll get back to you quickly. There is a form that your administrator can fill out for you. It only takes a moment or two, and they can get you started in pre-stage 1 to begin the Learn IT to Teach training. If you are already in the training, you can use the Avenue account request form for teachers who are already in the Learn IT to Teach training. The link is there. I'm also going to share the link in the chat. So I'm just going to open the chat up now. Throughout the session, I'll be adding things in there. And I'm not seeing the chat. Try Alt-H, it says. That didn't work. Alt-H back again. Oh, what am I doing? I'm breaking it. Okay, I'm not sure how to get at my chat now. Odd. Anyway, I will be sharing the links. Every link that you see here will be in the chat at the end of the session. When I stop sharing my screen, that will be easier. So when you open that link that I will share with you at the end, it will take you to this page, the Avenue Teacher Account Request Form. This form is for EduLINC teachers, so remember you have to already be in the training. Very simple form. All you need to do is put in your email address here, scroll down in your first name, your last name, the city that you're working in, your province or territory, the name of your service provider, so the school where you're working, the LINC program that you are a teacher as a part of, and then also who is your mentor. And there is a list here, so if you can't remember who your mentor is, perhaps the names will jog your memory. You can also come to live help if you're having trouble remembering who your mentor is. You can ask the form to send you a copy of your response so you have a record of that, and then you click on submit, and that will be sent to our administrative team who will set up your account for you. Generally within 24 to 48 hours, you will receive an email that will include your login credentials and the information you need to get started on Avenue. So that's the Avenue Teacher Account Request Form, and the link to that will be shared at the end. So that's getting your account. Once you have that Avenue account, then you're able to migrate your courses. If you have an existing course on EduLINC, you can move it over or migrate it to Avenue. What that means is that we make a copy of your course and put it on Avenue. It does not include student work. It does not include any forum posts that you have made, and the glossaries lose their entries. So think of it as a copy of your course as a shell. All the activities and all the resources that are in your course will be in your course on Avenue, but anything that a user has done, any work, any forum posts, anything they've added, those will not be there. It's sort of like a fresh start, a clean slate for the course that you set up. If you added things to your course, files, folders, resources, activities, those will all still be there. It's just the student work and anything that you put into the forums will not be. Now, when you go to this form to migrate your course to Avenue, it looks like this. It's the EduLINC course migration request form for teachers. You fill in the fields, and as it says, the courses will be migrated within 24 to 48 hours. The first thing here is your email address. Make sure that that's the same email address that you use to get your Avenue account. And then there's a reminder here that the processing will take about 24 to 48 hours. And do not submit the form unless you can have your course migrated now. So remember that it's like a snapshot of your course, all the activities and resources. If you migrate your course today and then add a new quiz to your EduLINC course tomorrow, it will not appear on Avenue. You would have to move it yourself or create it again on Avenue. So make sure that you're ready to migrate your course when you fill in this form. Make sure that you have an Avenue user account first too. So then we ask, do you have an account? And you can say yes that you do because you've got your account already. Put in your name there, the province or territory that you're working in, who your mentor is, the name of your EduLINC course. And we've got number 1, number 2, and number 3. And some teachers may have more than 3 courses. It's unusual, but some may. If that is the case, you can just open this form again and fill out another one with the other courses. But for now, what you want to do in this section, the name of your EduLINC course. If you go to EduLINC, and I'll do that now, this is my EduLINC page. I like the countdown clock. It's a nice addition. If I go here and I go to my Link 5-6 PC course, I'll just click that to open that. And up in the breadcrumb trail is the easiest place to do it. I would just highlight here. I'm highlighting the name of my course in the breadcrumb trail. I'm going to Control-C to copy that. And then I'll go back to the form and I can Control-V to paste. So that's the name of my course. That's what you see on your dashboard and what you see in the breadcrumb trail. And that helps our administration to know they have the right course. Now, to be extra sure, we ask for the URL of course number 1. So what you can do then is go to your course page again. I'm on the main course page, and I'm going to click in the address bar and Control copy the URL or the web address for my course. And then I'll return back to the form and I'm going to Control-V to paste that there. So that is a link to the course to make double sure that we move the right course over for you. You can repeat that process for your second course or your third course. And then again, you can ask to have a copy of your response sent to you for a record so you can remember, and then submit the form. About 24 to 48 hours after that, you'll receive an email from the administration at Learn IT to Teach that will inform you your course has been migrated and it's ready for you to use. So that's the EduLINC course migration request form for teachers with Avenue accounts. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen for a moment. I'm a little frustrated I can't see the chat. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yes, I agree, Shahram. It is strange. The chat's not in the main window. What's going on here? Anyway, generally Zoom works better than this. I'm going to share my screen again. Go back here, share that, and we'll return to the PowerPoint. So that was migrating courses. Now, the next thing today is spotting the differences on the new site. I've got this nifty screenshot here for you in which I split screens. I had 2 browsers open and I put them in different screens just so that you could sort of see what's happening in the new site compared to the old. The biggest difference, I think, is the email address is now your username, whereas in the past you had a username like teacher485. Passwords are also a little bit different, and we'll see that today. Logging in, there's still the forgot your password link, so if a teacher or a student forgets their password, you can reset it yourself. And that's what the 2 sites sort of look like. I think Avenue is just so much more appealing to the eye. It's one of the biggest differences that I notice in this screenshot. So I'm going to go down now. Some other differences on the new site. What you see here is the Avenue dashboard and the EduLINC dashboard. There's a big difference on Avenue in that there are actually 2 dashboards for teachers. There's your classroom and also your teacher dashboard. Today's webinar will show you what those are for and how to use them, but quite a different look. There's a whole new navigation bar on the left side on Avenue that we didn't have on EduLINC, and everything just looks a little more streamlined and clean, I believe. So what I'd like to do now, while we're spotting the differences on the new site, is I'd like to go into Avenue. So this is Avenue. This is the login page. And as you see, rather than a username, you want to put in your email address. Just for the demonstration for this part here, I'm going to log in as a teacher. So I'm going to log in here as myself. Actually, I'm going to change and I'm going to log in here. What I've done there is I've moved to a new browser. I'm now on Microsoft Edge rather than Firefox, which I was on before. And here on Microsoft Edge, I'm going to log in as a fake teacher account that I have, Beverly Davis. And password is here. We'll cover that when we enroll students in a moment. and I'll click Login. Now, when Beverly first logs in, did I click? There. When Beverly first logs in, oh, she appears to get a screen that says null in the top left corner. That wasn't supposed to happen. Let me try that again. I'm going to go back and refresh the page, perhaps. Continue. Oh dear. Okay, I'm going to close that. One moment. Let's see what's happening over here on Firefox. Log in. And let's try that again. Okay. Lovely. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. I've had these tabs open for most of the day getting ready for the webinar. So let me open up this Microsoft Edge again. I'm going to talk about this in a little moment here when we enroll a student, the idea of using two browsers at once. I'll go to the Avenue login page. I'm now in Microsoft Edge. Okay, and you know what? I think I'll stop sharing my screen too. That should give us more screen. Okay, I'm going to log in. And this time it will work because this is a new browser. A little slow to load. I'm not sure. That could be my internet. As I said, I am in a remote area. It's not the best internet speed here. There we go. Okay. Sorry to do this, everyone, but I am going to log out again, having just logged in. What I'd like you to see is the process from the beginning. So we're on the Avenue page. I'm going to click on Login. I have this login page. I'm going to use Beverly Davis, a fake teacher account. I'll click Login. And when I first log into the site as a teacher, when the page loads, you'll see that, well, I'll let you see. It does take a moment. I'm not sure why. Thank you for your patience, everyone. We all need patience these days. Excellent. Okay. This is the teacher home. So this is very different from EduLINC. This is, if we're spotting the differences, one of the biggest differences. The teacher homepage shows all the courses that Beverly is enrolled in, but it's important to note that for some she's a teacher, and in other courses, like the training stages, she's a student. So this is a really big difference. This first course here on the left, Link 56 PC, you'll see down below there's options here. Enroll a new student, the class register, that isn't activated yet, and go to the course. So as the teacher of this course, I have these options here, and this in a few moments is where you will see us log in and and enroll a new student. If you look over here at the pre-stage 1 course in the center of the page, in the pre-stage 1 course, Beverly is actually a student rather than a teacher, as you all are in Learn IT to Teach. So here, she only has the option to go to the course, because as a student, that's all that she can do. So when you log in as a teacher on Avenue and you come to the teacher home page, you'll see some different options for the different courses that you are enrolled in, depending whether or not you are a teacher or a student. Now up across the top, you'll see the big orange Avenue link. That's very important, and I'll show you why in a few moments. There's also the link to the classroom. That's what you would recognize on EduLINC as the dashboard. There's also the desk and the binder, which is the ePortfolio. I'm sorry, the desk is a private file storage space for teachers. The binder is the ePortfolio solution that I had mentioned at the beginning. There are some links that can take you to New Language Solutions website, which is the people who make all of this for you, and a link to the Tutela website as well. There's also the log out button. So as a teacher on my day-to-day, unless I'm enrolling a student, I'm probably going to want to go to my classroom first. So when I click on Classroom on the Avenue site, logged in, remember, as a teacher, you'll see the Avenue dashboard, or the classroom, as we call it now. A few things to note here that are different. Up in the top, we have what's called the navigation drawer. If I click on this, that will close or open. This gives me a lot of options. As you can see, I can go to my dashboard, I can go to the site home, I can go to the calendar, I can go to my private files or my courses. I can also access the courses I'm enrolled in directly. So here's one course I am in as a teacher, another course for a teacher, another course as a teacher, another course as a teacher. This is a sample teacher, so a lot of teachers use it. A lot of mentors use it, I'm sorry. There's a link to the Avenue Teacher Only Forum, which I am enrolled in. And then the training stages, pre-stage 1, stage 1, pre-stage 2, stage 2, and stage 3. There's even a link here for more. So these are direct links that help take you to different places on the site very quickly and easily. If you don't want this, or you don't like it, or you need a bigger screen size for some reason, you can always hide the navigation drawer. This is a very nice feature. You'll find that you use it often to navigate around the site. In the middle of the page, like we had on EduLINC, you'll see your recently accessed courses, the courses you've been in recently, any upcoming events that are reminding you from the calendar, and then a course overview. All of the courses that you're enrolled in a big list here, and you can access them all by clicking on them. So if Beverly clicks on any one of these courses, it will open it for her. Beverly's in a lot of courses. That's incredible. She can access all of her training courses here, as well as the courses that she's a teacher in. So that's very important. That's the one-stop shop. Right from this page, Beverly can access her student courseware and her training courses as well. Over on the side, we have some latest announcements and then another way to link to your courses. So there's lots of different ways to get to the courses that you have on the site. Please note too that Beverly Davis, as a sample teacher, that's a lot of courses. Most teachers will only have the training stages and then the course that they have with their own students. So that's some of the big differences. If I open a course now, if I go to my course that I would be the teacher in and use with my students, you'll see that it looks very similar to EduLINC. Nothing much has changed in terms of what we have here. Avenue Help Block has replaced the courseware help block. If I click on that, you'll see that it opens like it did before. There are videos and text files to support teachers and students with all the activities and resources. So the Avenue Help block is in all courses when they are migrated or a new course that's set up for teachers. The navigation drawer is still here on the left, but now that I'm in my course, the navigation drawer includes participants in the course, which would be your enrolled users page, if you're familiar with that on EduLINC, or your participants page. There's badges if I choose to use them, the competency and grades for the course. There's the different sections in the course. So now this navigation bar allows me to move from section to section in the course very quickly. I can scroll down and see all the different sections, topic sections that are in this particular course. There's a lot of empty sections because this is a testing course that I use. Down at the bottom, if I keep scrolling down, again we find dashboard, site home, calendar, private files, content bank. All the things that we saw before that are applicable to the whole site. So now this navigation drawer has changed and it allows me to access all of my courses as well as all of the sections that are in the course I am currently in. You may be familiar with the administration block on EduLINC. The administration block was the place to go to look at users or enrolled users. That's where you would have found the grades that's now in the navigation drawer. So anytime you find that there's something you used to use on EduLINC that doesn't seem to be in the navigation drawer, in your course, right above the Turn Editing On button, which is the same as it was before, you'll find the Course Editing drop-down menu. The course editing drop-down menu has many familiar things: edit settings for the course, looking at course completion, gradebook setup, backing things up, restoring or importing, reset, repositories, legacy course files recycle bin. If you have deleted anything recently in your course, you have 7 days to restore it from the recycle bin. And then, very important, the More option. When you click on More from the course editing drop-down menu, it will open a new page in this course. So my course again is Link 56 PC Avenue. And here you see some things that may be familiar from the administration block. Under the Course Administration tab, you'll find the Edit Settings page again, all the things that were available in that drop-down menu we just saw, up to the recycle bin. But in addition to that, this is where you can find the course reports, the logs, activity reports, activity completion reports. If you're using badges, you can find those here. And if you're using quizzes, you can find the questions, the categories, import and export for the question bank on this page as well. If I click on the Users tab, this is where you'll find the Enrolled Users page, which you may be familiar with from EduLINC, the enrollment methods, groups, if you're using groups in your course, any other users, and a place to check permissions. So again, from the course homepage, when I'm a teacher in the course and using it with my students, if I'm looking for something I used to have on EduLINC, the best places to check are the navigation menu, or the navigation drawer, on this side, which again you can hide or show as you like. And then from the course editing menu drop down, you can select more to access those other things that I was showing you a moment ago. Now, up here in the corner, if I click on my name, things are very similar to how they were on EduLINC. You can get back to your dashboard. You can access your profile where you can edit your profile, which is just the same as it was on EduLINC, no change there. You can get to the grades or messages here, your preferences, where you can change your own preferences for things like the editing toolbar, a place to log out, and the familiar switch role to option, which is a little different now. When you click on that, you can select the role and then carry on. I'm going to talk about that when we come to enrolling students. I'm not a fan of switching role to. It requires that you switch roles back, and then turn editing back on. It takes a bit of kind of logging in, logging out, switching roles. So there's a faster method, which I will show you, which is setting up a student account for yourself, where you can have that on another tab and view your changes very quickly in a student role. Other small changes on the site, you can toggle here to open the messaging drawer. So any messages that you have from any of your courses or on the site are available here. And this little bell is a notifications icon, which would sort of ring or have a red number if there was something that I needed to know. A submission had been made, a forum post in a forum I'm subscribed to, or a message has been sent to me. Anything like that will come up here. So this is the Avenue site. This is the course, what the course kind of looks like. Topic sections are still in the middle. The blocks are now only on the right side. So you can only have your blocks on the right side. They can still be moved around as they were on EduLINC before. If I click again on the dashboard, this will take me back to the page that we started from here. Now, from any page on the site, up above you see this big orange avenue. If I'm on the dashboard, or if I'm in my course, and I click on that big orange avenue, it's going to take me back to the teacher dashboard page. So this big orange avenue is a link, and it's an important link. Anywhere on the site, you will find this at the top in the header, and you can click on that. It's a little slow to load. This is a large site, and there's a lot of things going on in the background to make this work. We're still setting things up, but it's going pretty well. And you'll see that when I clicked on the big orange avenue, it took me back to this teacher homepage where I can do things like enroll students and things like that. I can also access these links here again, and I can log out if I'd like to. If you ever click on the avenue and find that the page displays nothing, check over here to make sure that it doesn't say log in. Sometimes you have to log in again to access your teacher homepage. So the classroom is where you'll find your courses. The teacher homepage, you can also find your courses, but here you have the ability to enroll students. I'm going to return to my PowerPoint again and make sure I'm on track. We've been spotting the differences. Okay, accessing training courses and support documents. So as I said, when you're on the Avenue site, I'll go back to that teacher view so we're familiar. If you click on Classroom, this will take you to your dashboard. I like the dashboard. It's very user-friendly, and if I'm not enrolling a student, it's the easiest place to get to things. If I scroll down below, you'll see here in my course overview all of the Learn IT to Teach training courses and the teacher-only forum as well. So here is where you would go to access these. When you make the move to Avenue, whatever stage you are in on Learn IT to Teach, you will be added to that stage and all previous stages on Avenue. You don't need to go back and redo anything. You can continue your training from where you stopped on Learn IT to Teach when you move to Avenue. Both your mentor and yourself will be able to access both EduLINC and Learn IT to Teach until March 2021. So there's lots of time. If you have things that you want your mentor to see on EduLINC, they can still look there until March. It is only students who will not be able to access EduLINC in about 7 days' time. Teachers will still be able to. So when you've made the move and you've migrated to Avenue and you have your account, you will find that you've been enrolled in all the training stages up to the one that you're currently in. You don't have to do anything again, but I would encourage you to go back and review, in particular, Stage 2. If you've gone beyond Stage 2 on Learn IT to Teach, that's great, but the Stage 2 course does have some updated documents. So I've clicked on that here, Learn IT to Teach Stage 2 on Avenue. If I scroll down a little bit, first thing to note is there's a new assessment document. So if you're just starting Stage 2, you'd want to open that and use this one on Avenue. If you've been using the assessment document from learnittoteach.org, that's okay. Just let your mentor know where they can find the work that you did to complete the tasks. The Getting Started section of the Stage 2 course is the one I really want to draw your attention to. Most of these documents are the same. Most of the processes are still the same. From EduLINC to Avenue, showing and hiding your course content, it's the same. It's just the same. But registering and enrolling a student on Avenue, this is new. And it is marked as new. So if you're having any trouble with anything that we talk about today, you can find support resources in the Stage 2 course on the Avenue site. There are other places to find this kind of help, and I'm going to go back in here to my PowerPoint presentation. So access the training courses. You can do that from your dashboard on Avenue. Support documents, though, can be found all over the place, and I wanted to give you a few. Again, at the end of the session, I will share all of the links that you see here in the chat so that you can copy and paste them. They'll also be included in the forum post that I make to announce this webinar when it's on YouTube, and you can watch it again. So I will send these links to you. You don't have to worry about getting them off the screen now. I've included a YouTube link. There's lots of videos on YouTube. One in particular is the orientation video for teachers on Avenue. That's a great video. Many other support videos are on our channel that will help you with the different parts of Avenue or Moodle, activities and resources, how to organize your courses more effectively, engaging learners. We've done webinars on lots of different topics. There's also the Avenue Teachers Only Forum. I really recommend that you check that out regularly and watch for email notifications. Teachers and mentors alike are sharing both questions and answers and resources. Quite a few sort of ready-made resources to help students and teachers have been shared in that forum, so it's well worth looking. There's a search function, so if there's something in particular you want to find, you can always search for that. Registering and enrolling students on Avenue, I've included the link here that I had showed you for the Stage 2 course so that you can find that more easily. So just while we're talking about this page, I'm going to go back to my teacher page in Avenue. I'm going to use my handy navigation bar to take me directly from the Stage 2 course to the Avenue Teacher Only Forum. It's very similar to what we had on EduLINC. This is teachers, coast to coast to coast. Great resources are being shared here. You can search the forum, as you can see here. So perhaps you need help with Big Blue Button. You could put Big Blue Button in the search forum, say go, and it will show you all of the results that have Big Blue Button in them. If I go back to the forum, Teachers Only Forum page, another great thing here, links, frequently asked questions document, an excellent help file. the Avenue user account request form. I'll be talking about that in a moment. And the migration request form is here as well, once you have your Avenue account. And then all of the webinars are here in a block on the right side, all of the archived webinars, so you can find them easily there by name so that you can see the ones that you want to see. So that's the Avenue Teacher Only forum, a great place for resources. Now, many teachers find that either they're in their course and they don't want to go into the training course, or perhaps they want to do something that's more complex than is covered in stage 2, and they'd like to do it before they reach stage 3. So to address that, what we've done on our public portal, which is learnit2teach.ca, is we've created support documents there as well. These you can access before you're in the stage. So for example, stage 3 support, you can see a lot of help files for stage 3 without being enrolled in stage 3. There's also the Avenue More Help Support documents, fantastic page, lots of resources. So to show you what that looks like, I'll go to learnit2teach.ca. This is our public portal that's available to everyone. On this page, you'll find many things. An important notice for teachers like yourselves, EduLINC moving over to Avenue. Some of the forms are included there. Down in the bottom corner, you can see our online live help chat widget. If you want to click on this, you can get assistance from a mentor during weekdays. If we're not there, you can always leave a message and we will get back to you very quickly. It's a good way to get help if you need it in real time. Across the top here, you'll see Home, Courseware, Project Info, Publications, and Support. Support has some great resources, and I'm going to draw your attention to this one here that I had just mentioned, Avenue Support. If I go to, for example, Avenue Stage 3 Support, on this page, you will find documents to help you with all aspects that are covered in Stage 3. So if you want to access this quickly on the public page or before you reach Stage 3, you can still get help for all these different activity types here. In addition to the Stages 2 and Stage 3 support documents, on the Avenue More Help page, you'll find sort of random help documents, very, very useful, excellent resources here. And down at the bottom, to draw your attention to it, the ePortfolio files. So these are files that will help you when you're using the ePortfolio on Avenue. Excellent resources here. Everything that you find here can be found in the training courses, but they're all gathered in one place, very easy to choose from and open on the public portal. So that's under the support tab there at learnit2teach.ca. Next, enrolling students. Now we're going to get to some of the questions that came before the session. To enroll a student on Avenue is quite a different process than it was on EduLINC. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up my, I'm sorry, I should show you the picture. Clicking on the orange Avenue, that will take you to the teacher's dashboard, as we saw before, where you can find classroom, desk, binder, and the links. But down below here, very important, you'll see the Enroll a Student button. This is what I was showing, the difference between being a student and a teacher in a course. You'll have different options on the teacher dashboard. So I'll return to my teacher dashboard now, and I'm going to enroll a student. So as Beverly Davies, I'm going to click on Avenue to take me back to the teacher dashboard, the big orange Avenue in the top left corner of the screen. And we'll just wait a moment while that loads. Thank you for your patience, everyone. When the teacher dashboard opens, I'm going to click on Enroll a New Student and show you how that's done. It's important to note that if a student already has an account on Avenue, which is possible if they've been working with another teacher before you, they will already have an account, so you won't need to register them. What I'm going to show you now is how to set it up for a student who's never been on Avenue before. So I'm going to come here. The course I want to work with is Link 56 PC on Avenue. Beverly Davies is a teacher in that course. I have these options here: enroll a new student, view the class register, and go to the course. If I click on view the class register, that's going to show me everyone who's currently in that course. So you'll see Beverly Davies, fake student Maria, my other teacher account Paul, and my sample student account also Paul. In the next couple of weeks, the Edit Account Details button will become active, and teachers will be able to change account details for students and themselves here on this page. But at the moment, that feature is not fully functional yet. So we do have a form to help you if you need to make changes, and I'll show that to you at the end. I'm going to close that now and go to Enroll a New Student. So I'm in the sort of tile here for my course that I want to enroll a new student in. I'm going to click on that button, and it's going to ask me for their email address. Now, I should have had this ready to go. I need to okay, I got it. Go back there and here. So the email address is the username on Avenue. So you no longer have S56351 for the username for a student or teacher485 for a teacher. Now your username is simply your email address. You can still use @fakemail.ca if your learners don't have an email address, but I would strongly recommend that you set them up or help them to get set up with a real email address. Right away, when I enroll a student in my course, an automatic email is sent to them with their password information, their login credentials, and a video to help them log into Avenue for the first time. If a learner is using a fake email address to log in or sign up for Avenue through the teacher, they will not get that email and they won't have that information. So I'm going to show you a couple things here that are very important. I'm going to type in, I can't remember again, I'm using a real email address, which is why I keep double checking back here. P. Carter. Okay, I've got it. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to type in pcarter.ssi@outlook.com. Now this is a real email address, so I want to show you what a student would see if you enroll them in your course. So I'm going to click on the Enroll button now, and because this is not a current user, they do not have an account already, when I click Enroll, I need to fill out a short form. So I need to put in the student's name because there is no account for them yet, first name and last name, and I'm going to add here sample 2 so that I know this is my sample student number 2. I'll put in the city and time zone. I prefer Pacific. And then if you're using multi-level courseware and you have access restrictions based on link level, you will want to select the levels of the courseware material that you want this student to be able to view. If you have a single level course and you don't have any restrictions, you don't need to worry about that. So that's there. Now you'll see here it has created a password. If my student is using a fake email, and even if they're using a real email, I always suggest copying this. So I've highlighted the password, Control-C to copy it, and I can put that in another document beside the student's name so that I have a copy of their password and I can help them if they lose it or if they can't find the email or anything. If you don't like the password that you see here, there is a refresh button. You can generate a new password. Now I've got huge bread 22. There's strange passwords. Let's try one more. This time we got fancy olive 32. If you don't like that, you can always change it. You could change it to Paul 1 2 3 4 5. So whatever is in this password field when you first enroll a new student on Avenue will be what their password is, and it will be sent to them via email, as I said, in an email to help them to log in the first time. Very important, again, whatever the password you decide on, you want to copy that. Put it in another document so you have a record of that. So once I've done this, put in their name, their city, their time zone, and then the link levels there, and have the password ready to go, I can click on Create Account. When I click on Create Account, the user has now been enrolled in my course. So if I close the Enrolled Users box, and I go back to that View Class Register, you will see now that there is Paul Carter Sample 2. And oh, look at that. In my email, I see that I have received an email. So this email came from the site. It was automatically sent when I enrolled that student in my course. So this is the email address I used, and this is what the student will receive. You are now enrolled in the online course. Please use the name and password below to log in at Avenue.ca, and you'll see there that the username is the email address, and the password is Paul12345. Also included is a YouTube video to orient students to the site, and a button they can click on to log in, which will take them directly to the login page. So this is where it's really useful for students to have a real email address so that when you do this, they actually get this information sent to them. If you are using the @fakemail.ca method, then you will need to copy that password so you can share it with the student and the fake mail address as well, so that they are able to log into the site. If you want to, you can find this video on our YouTube channel, and you can also share a link to it for them. So this is what happens when you enroll a new student in your course and the email that they receive. So I'm going to go back now. I'll go back here, and I'm going to close this now. And instead of opening the register, this time I'm going to click on the Go to Course. So I click on Go to Course here, and this will take me directly to the course that I was just working on, enrolling a student. Just to show you very quickly, if I now click on Participants in the navigation drawer, this will open the Participants page, and you'll see the same list of students, including Paul Carter Sample 2, which is the student that you see here. Excellent. So I'm going to go back now into this. That was enrolling students. I hope that was helpful. This was recorded, so you'll be able to watch that again later if you'd like to. I'm going to move along now to access and use the ePortfolio. To demonstrate this, I'm going to be going from teacher to student, so you can see two different views. But as I said, clicking on the big orange avenue will take you to the page where you can select Binder. When you get to the Binder page, there are tabs: My Portfolio, Canadian Language Benchmarks, My Canada, Where I Live, and Helpful English. There's also a drop-down menu to select the course you want to look at if you have multiple courses. And then there are these toggle choices where you can show or hide speaking, listening, writing, reading, about me, and other. This last little button on the side here is the Upload a File button, where you can add something to the ePortfolio. Go on, I think. Yes, the next page here shows what it looks like, and I think it will be more useful to you if we do that live. So I'm going to go back in here. I'm still Beverly Davies, still logged in as my teacher role. I'm on Microsoft Edge. And I had mentioned before the idea of setting up a practice student for yourself. I do this quite often when I'm editing or creating something new in my course. I did it on EduLINC as well. I was frustrated by logging in and logging out, switching roles, that kind of thing. So I decided to set up a fake student account for myself so that I could see everything as a teacher and as a student at the same time. And what I mean there is here on this tab on Microsoft Edge, you could use Chrome or Safari or whatever browser you like. But on one browser, I am logged in as a teacher, and I'm going to click on the Binder. The Binder is the ePortfolio solution, and I'll show you what this looks like in a moment. Now I'm going to go back to Firefox, and in Firefox, I'll go back to Avenue. I'm going to log out here. I don't want to be a teacher anymore. And this time, I'm going to log into Avenue in a fake student role, Maria Gupta's. So I log in here. So what's happening now is in Firefox, I'm logged in as Maria Gupta's. On Microsoft Edge, I'm logged in as the teacher Beverly. I'll go back to Firefox. Maria wants to see her binder, so she's going to click on the big orange avenue, just like a teacher would do. So students also access the binder link here from clicking on the big orange avenue. Opens much more quickly for a student because they don't have as many things. And note, as I said, log out has changed to log in. So I'm going to click on log in, and this is logging me into my dashboard as a student. Now, as a student, I only have the classroom, which is the dashboard that we're familiar with from EduLINC, or the binder. The links are there in log out as well. But when I click on binder, I'm now entering the binder in the student view. So you'll see when a student logs into a binder, they're going to see things quite differently than here logged in as a teacher. Students are generally only enrolled in one course or maybe two, and in that case, that's what we'll be displaying. For a teacher, however, particularly Beverly Davies, when she opens the binder, she needs to select the course that she wants to look at. So let's go to Link 56 PC Avenue. That's one course that she has students in that would need the binder or ePortfolio. I've selected the course, and now it's time to select the student. So now I'm going to select Maria Gupta's. When I do that, you'll see that the teacher view now matches what Maria sees in her student view over here. So if I have one browser logged in as a teacher and another browser logged in as a student, I am able to refresh the page and see any changes or additions I've made in the student role very quickly without having to log in and log out. So now I'm going to return back to my teacher view, and in my teacher view, what I can do here is I can choose different things I'd like to see. For example, if I click on About Me, I will only see the documents that relate to the About Me section of the Language Companion. If I click on Writing and I close About Me, now I'll only see the artifacts that relate to writing. Each one of these artifacts, I can click on it and look at it and see what it is. Down below, I can choose to view it here. I can also download the artifact, and I can delete the artifact. You want to be careful with that one. But anything that's in the ePortfolio can be downloaded and viewed in the ePortfolio. Teachers can also change students to see another student's work. That works really well. Now, teachers aren't going to use this as much, but they still have access to it, as do students. So I'm going to return to my student role to take a look at the other sections of the ePortfolio, as well as all the artifacts that have been collected in a couple of different ways. For certain activities on Avenue, you can tag an activity as ePortfolio, and that will be automatically collected by the portfolio. For some things, you'll need to upload them yourself, as you may have done on EduLINC if you were using folders. If someone could mute their microphone, that would be fantastic. I'll return now. This is the student role. And if Maria, the student, clicks on Canadian language benchmarks in her ePortfolio, again, the binder, you'll see here that she can choose. I'm going to close those thumbnails so you can see better. She has access as a student, as do teachers, to the literacy language benchmarks, CLB 1 to 4, and CLB 5 to 8. So with this new ePortfolio, students on their computer or their phone or their iPad, whatever they're using to access Avenue, they can also access the complete Canadian language benchmarks. The My Canada section is also there, also available for the 3 different levels. Where I Live is included, and also the Helpful English section that you'll be familiar with, having worked with it in the paper copy. So again, I can change the level, and I can change the section, and then I can read it like a book. It's really, really quite amazing. I'm envisioning students on SkyTrains or metros studying their helpful English on their way to class when we can return to face-to-face. But for now, we can save some trees by using this here. There was a question before the session wondering if students could write in this document here, and unfortunately the answer is no. They can't write in it, they can only read it, but they can also choose to download it. And if they click on the download button, you can get the whole thing, full publication, or you can just get the current page right or left to save some space. So if a learner needs a copy of this or wants to print it out so that they could fill it in by hand, that could be possible. Depending on your version of PDF as well, you may be able to create a fillable form with these, but I think a lot of it is reading based, and learners will be just happy to have access to it digitally without having to carry it around. So again, on the binder page, a student or a teacher can access their portfolio, which includes the artifacts that they have, the Canadian language benchmarks, and the other sections as well. As I said at the beginning, I think this is one of the best additions on the Avenue site that we didn't have on EduLINC. Now back to my PowerPoint presentation. That was accessing and using the portfolio. We talked about that. And there were a few questions. I'll just address these. Before I close the screen share, someone had asked, I've completed the first part, I believe, of the training, however, never used it since the board is on a different platform. Please advise. When it comes to decisions that are made at a school board level or at a service provider organization level, for example, the school that you're working at, those types of things are best to be discussed with the school board or with your service provider organization. It's important to remember that Learn IT to Teach and Avenue are optional. No one is required to do this. We offer it for free to link teachers as a way of supporting them across Canada, but we have no control over what your school or your school board requires of you or doesn't want you to use or does want you to use. Those decisions are out of our hands. What we do is we provide the platform, we provide the resources and the training, and hopefully teachers are able to make use of that. So any questions about what do I have to use or what can I use are best asked at your service provider organization. Is it possible to change the password? We did demonstrate how to set up a password and setting up the password in the way that you want it to be. Changing the password will be possible when the class register is fully functional, probably in the next couple of weeks. But for now, we have a form that I'm going to share with you in just a moment in the chat, which allows you to send a Avenue account request change form. And that allows you to get anything changed from an email to a password to a name until it's available for teachers to do. And we do reply to those requests very quickly because we know that students and teachers want to be online. Can students write in the online language companion? And as we just saw, unfortunately, no, they can't, but they can download it and print it out if they would like to fill in the sections that have written parts there. So I'm just going to put this on the screen for a moment. If anyone would like to take down my email address, you can always find me through the Avenue Teachers Only forum as well. Down below, you'll see the project info, which is our public portal, learnit2teach.ca, and you'll also see our Twitter handle, which is @learnit2teach. You can find links to Twitter and YouTube on the public portal, learnit2teach.ca. So now I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can get back in here and see the chat, and we'll see what we've got for questions. Thank you very much, everyone, for your patience. I do appreciate it as I was working through this. Cannot hear you. We got that solved. Excellent. You can see the screen. Thank you, everyone. My courses have been migrated. However, since they were migrated, the names of my classes have changed, and so have the levels. How do I rename my classes in Avenue, and how do I get a different class in Avenue? Okay, that's odd. What we did when we migrate courses to Avenue is we do add the word Avenue to the course just to mark it as having been migrated. But the name itself shouldn't have changed except for that small addition. So I would recommend contacting your mentor to find out what happened. In terms of changing the class name, I'll just quickly share my screen again. I'll go back here. And if you're in your course on Avenue, just the same as it was, that's a student. Let me go to the teacher. I'm going to go to my classroom. Just as you could on EduLINC, you can change the name of your course on Avenue and pretty much in the same way. So I'll open up my course here. So this is the course homepage, and this is that drop-down menu I had mentioned that has a lot of options that used to be in the administration block. If I click on Edit Settings from the course homepage, so Edit Settings on the course homepage, you'll see here the course full name and the course short name. And I can change that to anything that I'd like. I can put in any words that I want. If I wanted to have my whole name there, I could do that. Paul C. I don't know why I do that, but you can change it to anything that you'd like it to be. Scroll down to the bottom, save and display. And you'll see that the course name has now changed to Link 57. It's a good thing it's not a real course. It's a test course that I use for webinars and things like this. So again, course homepage, drop-down menu there, click on Edit Settings, and you can change the name of your course. So I'll stop the share again, and I'm going to go back up. Yes, okay, chat. Is it true that Avenue is working in all browsers? Yes, it is true. All of the big browsers, Chrome, Edge, Firefox, Safari, if you're on a Mac, It is functional on all browsers. It will look a little different maybe depending on the browser. Some things may function just slightly differently, but if you ever have any trouble based on your browser, the Avenue Teacher Only forum is a great place to start, or contacting your mentor or coming to the live help on learnit2teach.ca. Just for a little plug, I'm a big Firefox fan. I've been using Firefox with Moodle for probably 10 years now, and I've almost never had a problem. I like Firefox so much because Moodle themselves use Firefox to build Moodle. So Firefox is free, it's open source, it's not a big corporate browser. It's a great one. I recommend it. Firefox is fantastic, but all the other big browsers should work fine. If a student has an EduLINC account, does Avenue consider them a new student or an existing student? They would be considered a new student. Avenue is a totally new login process. The username is different. The passwords are also different. And if a student has not been on Avenue, they need to be registered for the first time as a new student. As I mentioned too, when your course is migrated over, the students are not migrated over, nor is the student's work. With the one exception, if you have created folders in your EduLINC course to put student artifacts in as an ePortfolio, that folder and its contents will be migrated over. So it's more like if a student did a quiz, their quiz attempts are gone on Avenue. If a student posted in a forum, the forum posting is gone on Avenue. So the resources, content, and activities you had in your course will move over, but user things they've done will not. Is there a conflict between Firefox and MS Edge when running them at the same time? No, and I love it. It's so fantastic. You know what? It's so fantastic. I'm going to do a quick demo right now. I really am a big fan of this, a huge fan of having two browsers open at once. So what I've got here is I've got my Beverly Davis. This is open on Avenue. I'm going to put that to the side. And now I'm going to click in here. I'm going to go to my Maria Gupta's. She's also going to go to her classroom, and she's going to join her teacher in the same course. And now I'm going to put, oh, look at that. I reached level 2. That's great. Thanks. Now I'm going to move that to the side. So what I've got now, and hopefully you can see this, thumbs up if you can see two avenues, if anyone could give me a thumbs up. So what we've got here, hopefully you can see it. I see some clapping. That's good. Okay, so over here we've got Beverly Davies. Over here we've got Maria Gupta's. If I turn editing on in my teacher role, which is on Microsoft Edge, at the same time as I've got Firefox open with Maria Gupta as the student. If I come in here, welcome to the Link 5-6 blended class, this topic section, oh, that's the 0 topic. I can't change that. I'm going to scroll down quickly here. Topic 2. Okay, if I scroll down as Maria, let's go down. You see topic 2 here. So I'll click on that to open it up. Okay, so Maria's got topic 2 here. Beverly has topic 2 here. This H5P, Beverly Davies is going to hide that in her teacher role. I come back over here to Maria. I click on refresh, and presto magico, poof, it's gone. I can come back over here and I can keep editing as Beverly Davies. I can do the next thing I want to do without switching roles. Come back to Firefox, hit refresh, and test 2 disappeared. So it's just so fast. I absolutely love this for editing, for testing things. When you switch role 2, you have to switch role 2 again at the other side. And some things don't actually display the same when you switch role 2 as they would when you're logged in as a student proper. So I really recommend if you want to test a quiz or something like that before you use it, have a fake student account of your own that you can log in with to do this, having 2 tabs open. If you don't like how that looks because it's pretty squishy, you can always enlarge the screen and then just move between tabs by, move this thing here. There's the Zoom video box is in my way. There we go. And I can switch between browsers, having them both full screen. Just by clicking down at the bottom of the screen, I can toggle between them. So that was a great question. Thank you, whoever asked that. That was fantastic. I'm going to come back in here to my chat. When will stage 4 become available on Avenue? That's a great question. It will be soon. Really, it's not a priority, and I'll tell you why. It's a good reason. The reason is that in stage 4, you go outside of Moodle to create activities or resources that can be shared on sites like Tutela or shared across different LMS solutions like Blackboard or Moodle. And so where you build your stage 4 material is really of no consequence because it's meant to be shared. So you can move it to Avenue, you can put it on Tutela, you can do all those things quite easily. We're working to update the stage 4 course to reflect the new site Avenue, but for the time being, please carry on at learnittoteach.org for stage 4 training and also for your stage 4 portfolio that you're building. When the day comes that we move stage 4 to Avenue, there will be an announcement and an email will go out to let you know, and you can make the move over at that point for stage 4. Oh, someone added the course names didn't change because of migration, they changed because of my job. Oh, okay, yeah, you can change the name, no worries there, no worries. Yeah, stage 4 again, we're not migrating it at the moment, your portfolio course or the training course, just because there's other priorities, and stage 4 is meant to be outside of Moodle in a way that can be shared. Just to recap, I need to go to Learn IT to Teach to register for a new account, even if I have an EduLINC account, right? No, that's wrong. To register for an Avenue account, if you already have an EduLINC account, you just need to use the form. And I'm going to share those in a moment when I reach the ends of the questions here. So you can fill in the Avenue account request form, and that will get you set up really quickly. Perfect. Thank you, Paul. Oh, I like those. Those are easy. You're very welcome. Yeah, tablet as a student. I love it. And that's a great example. Sharam, thank you so much for that. Quite often I'll sit here at my table and I have a computer, I have a phone, and I have an iPad. And on all three of them, I've got the same activity open so that I can see what it looks like and how it displays. If you have access to any kind of device, use it if you can to access the site. The more different devices that you use as a teacher to access Avenue or EduLINC, but Avenue nowadays, the more likely it is that you'll understand issues your students may be having when they're using those different devices. I don't have an Android phone, and I really wish I did. It's the only sort of type of device I haven't been able to try things out on because I have an iPhone. But whatever you can try the site out on, do it. It's really worth the time to see how different it can be from like a desktop computer with a big screen display to a teeny tiny iPhone 6. It's like a whole other world. It does work. It is responsive. It will resize to the screen, but it does look different. Things are organized differently to fit the screen. And if you completed stage 4 in 2015, no, you don't need to refresh it. You are a stage 4 grad, and hats off to you. That's fantastic. I think that's about the year that I finished too. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dump something into the chat there that's huge. I'll explain it as I go, but it'll all be there for you if you'd like to copy and paste it. And I'm also going to share this on the Teachers Only forum when I upload the video and let you know via the chat. I just saw another question came in there. Is there a date for Avenue app? There is already a Moodle app. I'm not a big fan of it though, and I'll tell you why. If you download the Moodle app, you're actually creating more steps for your students because they then have to download the Moodle app and then they have to register the course they want to use with the Moodle app so that they can access the course through the app. And then when they're in the app and they're using the app on the site, if they click on something like a different type of quiz, it will probably just open the browser on the phone to use the browser to do the activity. So it's sort of this weird loop where you've created an extra step for students by using the app, and a lot of the time it just redirects you to the browser. So I really recommend don't bother with the app. Just get a nice browser app, a Firefox app, Chrome app, Safari app on an iPhone, and then log into the course from the browser on the phone, just like you would on the computer. The app really only adds an extra layer of logging in for students. So people might disagree with me, but I don't like the app. I think it's a waste of time, and it makes things more complicated than they need to be. I haven't started stage 4 yet. Can I get the training for stage 4 on Avenue? Not yet. You will be able to soon, and there will be an announcement about that. But again, stage 4 is sort of outside Moodle, sort of outside Avenue, or even outside of EduLINC. So when you're creating e-activities in stage 4, whether you're on EduLINC or Avenue, it doesn't really matter. Creating new e-activities that can be shared across sites can be done on either of those sites successfully. So I don't see any more questions at the moment. So I've just put something rather large into the chat. Let's see how it looks. Oh, there you go. Okay, so what you see there is a little descriptor and all of the links that I had shared throughout today's session. Just going to make sure they're all there. If you're not registered, I'll just make sure I got everyone. If you're not registered, down to Avenue account. Okay, yes, I believe they are all there. Oh no, Avenue Teacher Only Forum. And oh, okay, didn't get it all. Let me get the rest. There we go. I'll put that in the chat. Thank you to everyone who came. If you have to leave now, I totally understand. I wanted to keep going till all questions were answered. I'm not in a big rush to leave right now. Oh dear, I may have just sent that to someone privately. Oh, I did. Zoom, when someone sends you a message, it sets you up to send it back to them. Okay, that should have come through for everyone. Me to everyone and me to everyone. Yes, good. So all the links that I showed you in today's session will be included in the forum post, and they're also in the chat there if you'd like to access them right now. You can copy and paste that into another document, or you can just click on the links to open them right now, and they'll stay open until you close your browser. I'm going to check at the bottom. I see some thank yous. You're so welcome, everyone. We should all pat ourselves on the back. This has been a crazy time for LINC teachers. Things were tough enough back when all we had to worry about was PBLA, right? Now it's PBLA plus COVID, plus no face-to-face, plus isolation, plus all kinds of issues trying to get learners online. It's not an easy time, and LINC teachers are working hard to keep those students learning and to help them settle into Canada, which more and more is becoming a digital country. So these online skills are essential for your learners. And I think you should all be very proud of yourselves for what you have done already and whatever it is you're planning to do next to help your students through this time online and hopefully one day back to blended. If there's any other questions, this would be a great time to put them in the chat. I see so many thank yous, and thank you for your kind words. It's great. I get to know people a little bit on the live help. I miss the old stage 1 sessions where we got to meet you in person. But yeah, is there BBB on Avenue? Yes, Big Blue Button is on Avenue, and it's pretty much the same. No big changes there. Big Blue Button still functions as it did on EduLINC on Avenue. You can add that to your course, and when you get a new course, it will be included, so you don't have to add it. And no problem, Alexandra. My pleasure. Always my pleasure to help. Don't often have this many people to talk to, so I'm just going to keep talking until you all leave. Just kidding. Any info, memo, Ari, the switch for students? Well, the info about the switch for students is that as of, I believe it's December 23rd, which is in 7 days' time, EduLINC will no longer be accessible to students, which means they won't be able to log into the courses anymore after December 23rd. So this is the time to move to Avenue if you would like to continue using this resource with your students. Very easy to make the move. Just fill in those forms. The first one to get your account, the second one to migrate your courses if you have them. If you would like a new course and like to start from scratch, feel free to contact your mentor and they can set you up with a new course for whatever level or levels that you need. I can add activities to my course in Avenue, or should I continue in EduLINC? I'm doing stage 4. If it's for stage 4 that you're building activities, you'd like to continue on EduLINC until we make the big move for stage 4. If you're adding activities to your course for your students to be using, you can continue doing that up until the day that you actually migrate. As it said on the form that you fill out for course migration, are you sure? Are you ready? Because we're going to do this now. And as soon as they migrate your course, anything you add to EduLINC after that will not be included. So best to migrate your course when you're totally ready to make the move over yourself. Yeah. You can also get your Avenue account and access the training stages before migrating your course. If you'd like to just check out Avenue and see what it looks like, that's a nice thing to do before migrating. And if you're lucky enough to have a holiday break coming up, that would be a great time to do the migration as well. You can take a look at things at your leisure without the students needing to be completing assignments or tasks during that time. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. I agree. It is much more user-friendly. No worries. And it's a whole team. I don't even know how many people, like 40 or 50 people working on this. Big names to mention, though. Jim Edgar, that guy's amazing. He keeps us all afloat. Kevin O'Brien, fantastic. John, Pamela, Nancy, Marike, Sepide, Marjan. The list goes on and on. All the Bevezna, like so many people out there making this happen. So thank you for noticing that there was a lot of hard work, and remember, it was a team that did it. Where can I find out about how easy Avenue would be for teachers with vision loss? Oh, that's fantastic. Great question. I just helped a teacher with vision loss, and in helping that teacher, I'm going to share my screen again. We changed everything for everyone. So I'm going to go in here to my teacher tab, and I'm going to go down, going to go to stage 1. There was a teacher who had vision challenges, and we were helping them out to be able to do the training. And it was a situation where certain colors, certain contrasts were difficult to see. And our site, unfortunately, is full of gray on gray and orange on gray, which is very difficult for people to see. So we implemented and have now added, teachers can add this to their courses on Avenue, the accessibility block. You'll see it here over on this side, on the right side of the screen. You can add that to any page in your course, any course you have, or any page in your course. You can add this accessibility block. It allows students or teachers, whoever needs it, to increase the zoom, the font size, so I can make it bigger, bigger, bigger if size is what's a problem for my vision. You can save the setting if you want to keep it that way. You can also change the contrast. So look at the site here, and then I click this. I love this. And it changes the color scheme. Now, not all contrast issues are the same for people with vision challenges. So there's these 3 options. You can also have this blue version. And then the one that I like the best, I find it very nice on the eye, is this black, a yellow, fantastic contrast. So the accessibility block is a fantastic new block that you can add to your course on Avenue or any page within your course as well. Okay, I'll stop the share so I can get back there. Yeah, awesome, right? I love it. Yeah, students, anyone with vision challenges, that's a great addition. Yes, students do have access to that. So what you need to do for your students to access it, go into your course on Avenue. Remember, this is Avenue. I don't believe we had it on EduLINC. On Avenue, go to your course, turn editing on in the course, and then if you scroll down to the bottom of the navigation drawer, you'll find the Add a Block link. And when you click on Add a Block, you'll be able to add that block. It's called the accessibility block. And just while we're talking about it, because it's a good thing to do, I'll share my screen and show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to turn that on, leave it there. Okay, so in here, this is Beverly Davies, right? Yes. Okay, so if I scroll down, oops, sorry, let me change the contrast again. Everything. Oh, this is stage 1. This isn't my course. Why can't I edit? It's because it's not my course. Okay. Oh, I'm not a teacher in that course. Okay, here's the course where I'm a teacher. So first thing I'm going to do, let me change that again. That's, oh, it's not here. Okay, so I'm going to turn editing on in my course. And I'm going to go to the navigation bar. I'm just going to move these pictures in case they're in the way. And I scroll down to the bottom of the navigation drawer. And at the very bottom, you'll see add a block. I click on add a block and the options come up here, activity results and all these. Accessibility is not here because it's already in this course. So you would see accessibility there. I'll close that and I'll move these pictures again in case they're in the way. And if we scroll down here on the side, you'll see the accessibility block is here. If I open up an activity, like let's say I go to the class chat, the class chat page does not have that block. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the navigation drawer on the class chat page and click on add a block. Now you can see accessibility there. I click on that and the accessibility block has been added to this page in the course, and it remembered the settings I had and it actually put it back to the way I had it before. So now that I have the accessibility block, anywhere in the course that I go that has that block, you'll find that it retains these settings as I move through the course. So as a teacher, turn editing on, scroll to the bottom of the navigation drawer, click on add a block, and then you can add the accessibility block to any page in your course or the course page itself. It's the best place to start is the course page. Really nice. I think maybe that's all the questions. What if they have total vision loss? Any software that works? Yes. There's a screen reader that I discovered. It's generally built into the computer. For example, I have a HP Windows computer, and it has this thing in there called the screen reader. If you enable the screen reader on your computer, it will actually read the page to you like described video, and it tells you what every link is, what every picture is, what all the text says. It's really fascinating. If you don't know about screen readers, just Google screen reader and the type of computer that you're using, and you'll probably find some great resources to help. You can also contact your mentor. They can help you out with screen readers and things for students with complete vision loss as well, or teachers. No worries. My pleasure, Barbara. My pleasure as well, Sharam, and link to at mjmcinc.ca. Whoever you are, it was great to have you here today. Fantastic, everyone. Thank you so much. I think we'll call it a day, and good luck with your evening or your afternoon, wherever you are. Stay safe out there. Stay healthy. Wash those hands. Take care of each other. Enjoy the holidays as best you can. Thank you very much, everyone. Great to see your faces. Have a great day. Thank you for coming.